Aotearoa, and welcome to Monday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news. We're heading into a week where the data won't be as important as the policy decisions made and about to be made. And we do seem to be seeing a shift in great power economic fortunes. The US is fading while China gets up off its knees. Although there are only a few key data releases in New Zealand, Australia will release its monthly inflation indicator for February this week on Wednesday, and its monthly household spending indicator on Thursday. These will both feed into their election campaign narratives. And later today, we'll get a first look at their March PMI tracking. And there'll be similar flash PMIs in Japan, India, the EU, and the US out this week. South Korea will release its business and consumer confidence data, while Singapore will release its February inflation rate. And in the US, it'll be all about personal income and spending, consumer sentiment, durable goods orders, pending home sales, and the final estimate of their fourth quarter 2024 GDP. In the US this week, all eyes will be on how the threatened reciprocal tariffs play out. Those around the Trump team seem to be starting to realise that tariffs are a tax on yourself, so are growing less certain they're a good idea. The talk now is of a scaling back of the promised action threatened to take effect on April the 1st US time, just 9 days from now. No doubt they'll be very aware of the signals the widely respected Atlanta Fed GDP Now is giving. In Canada, retreating car sales, especially of American brands, has seen their February retail sales take an unexpected dip. They fell by 0.4% from the previous month, and January was revised lower. So that is back-to-back falls in retail sales for the first time since June 2024. A 0.3% rise was anticipated for February. Year on year, February retail sales were up 4.2%. And staying in Canada, the Liberal government has called an election on April 28. The race is set to revolve around those best placed to fend off Trump. Trump's pettiness is sure to be an issue. The Japanese inflation rate dipped to 3.7% in February from a two-year high of 4% in January. Helping was a sharp pullback in the price of electricity, up 9% in February from a year ago, back from 18% in January on the same basis. New utility bill subsidies are behind that shift. So it isn't likely to shift the Bank of Japan from its rate rising path. As expected, Malaysia's CPI inflation rate came in at 1.5%, but that was its lowest since February 2021. Their food prices were stable. Housing costs there fell. And in China, they're piling on the pressure to try and stop the Hong Kong company that owns the Panama port facilities from completing the deal to sell it to America's BlackRock. C.K. Hutchinson is in an impossible situation now, a pawn between great powers. How this one falls will likely tell us a lot. Meanwhile, China's retail sales activity is on the rise, at 4% year on year and rising from 3.7% in December. That now bests the US 3.1% and a fall from 4.4% in December on the same basis. And in a bit of a surprise to many analysts, EU consumer sentiment did not improve in March as it has done previously in 2025. Rather, it dipped lower. To be fair, it has been deeply negative since mid-2021 and running below its long-term average for the past 2 years. And here's something you don't see every day: a ratings agency putting a whole sector on watch in advance of failures. This is from Australia's SQM Research, who now say the private credit sector, also known as the private debt sector or private equity, is facing a wave of bad loans. It has a list of 14 issues that the sector is deficient with. Companies owned or funded by the sector are at a heightened risk of short-term cut-and-run strategies, making matters worse. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.25%, unchanged from Saturday at this time. And the price of gold will start today at just on $3,023 an ounce, and up a net $7 from Saturday. Oil prices are stable from Saturday at just under $68.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is still just over $72 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is now at 57.3 US cents and down 10 basis points from Saturday. A week ago it was at 57.5. Against the Aussie, we're holding at 91.4 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're also holding at 53 euro cents. That all means our trade weight index starts today at just on 66.9 and unchanged. A week ago it was at 66.7. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $85,264 and up 1.6% from Saturday. A week ago it was $84,261. Volatility of the past 24 hours has again been low at plus or minus 0.9%. You can find links to the articles mentioned today in our show notes, and you can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.